The 2025 Cleveland Browns season is shaping up to be a pivotal year, and while much of the spotlight will fall on the team's defense and efforts to rejuvenate the running game, the quarterback position has stolen the show as the most intriguing storyline. The Browns find themselves in a position where the future of their franchise quarterback could hinge on this training camp and the preseason. But here's the thing. The road to a legitimate starting QB is riddled with uncertainty, and the four quarterbacks competing for the job come with more questions than answers. If the Browns are to outplay the dismal expectations hanging over them this season, they'll need to find a quarterback capable of leading a potential playoff push. At the moment, Cleveland's roster, despite its potential, is widely considered one of the weaker ones heading into 2025. Yet, if the Browns are to defy the odds, a competent, steadying presence at quarterback will be non-negotiable. But will that quarterback emerge from a group currently filled with wild uncertainties? Right now, the Browns have a muddled situation under center. Joe Flacco, a Super Bowl MVP who's been out of the game for a while, Terry Bradshaw's cryptic commentary on Kenny Pickett, the intriguing but raw Dillon Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders, who might have slipped down the draft board due to his last name and some unproven physical traits. This competition is shaping up to be far more dramatic than anyone initially anticipated. Let's dive into each candidate and what they bring to the table. Joe Flacco, the veteran wild card. Flacco, who was re-signed by the Browns in a desperate bid to bring some veteran experience to the table, is one of the more intriguing figures in this race. After a tumultuous 2023 season, where he showed flashes of the magic that helped him capture a Super Bowl title with the Ravens, Flacco has one last chance to show he can be a reliable presence under center. The question is, can the 40-year-old still bring that same playoff-caliber magic to a team that needs stability? Given his age, it's hard to believe he'll be the long-term answer, but for a season or two, he could be the steady hand Cleveland desperately needs if he can stay healthy. Kenny Pickett, the talk of Pittsburgh, but can he succeed in Cleveland? The whispers about Kenny Pickett have been loud. Terry Bradshaw recently made headlines, suggesting that Pickett didn't look like the kind of quarterback who could lead the Steelers into the future. As for Cleveland, Pickett has been on the radar as a player who has the potential to surprise, maybe more so than Flacco, but with just as many red flags. Having spent 1 year under the tutelage of the Philadelphia Eagles, the jury is still out on whether Pickett can translate his college success into the NFL. If the Browns can't find their guy this year, it's possible they'll look to Pickett in the future, but it's not clear whether he's ready for the starting role in 2025. Dillon Gabriel, the unlikely candidate with an uphill battle. Dillon Gabriel, a player who initially came into the league as a physical outlier, has garnered some attention. But the reality is this: Gabriel has a long road ahead of him. During OTAs, a report by Zach Jackson shook the foundation of Gabriel's potential when he stated that, to him, Gabriel doesn't look like an NFL quarterback. That harsh critique stood out because, while Gabriel has flashes of potential, his lack of the prototypical size and build for an NFL quarterback raises immediate red flags. There's a reason why no other team was reportedly interested in drafting Gabriel in the first 100 picks of the draft, and it's likely that Cleveland's selection of Gabriel was motivated by a hope that other teams missed something. But as Jackson pointed out, physical outliers like Gabriel, who stands at just 5'11", rarely find success in the NFL. That's not to say he can't succeed, but it's a steeper climb for someone who doesn't meet the usual physical benchmarks required of quarterbacks in today's game. The Browns may have to make a decision soon. Is Gabriel a hidden gem, or just another in a long line of draft misses? Shedeur Sanders, the legacy and the uncertainty. Perhaps the most interesting, if not the most risky of the group, is Shedeur Sanders. The son of Hall of Famer Deion Sanders, Shedeur's name alone brings with it high expectations. While Sanders' college career at Jackson State and Colorado was nothing short of stellar, his draft stock took a hit due to doubts about his limited athleticism and his ties to his famous father. Despite this, Sanders has impressed during OTAs, making a name for himself as someone who could, potentially rise to the occasion. For now, one thing is clear: The Browns' quarterback room will be one of the most fascinating positions to watch in 2025, and the pressure is mounting. Will Cleveland find its next great quarterback, or will the search continue for another year? The answers might come sooner than we think.